First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Yet the Senate, with 22 co-sponsors, 11 Democrat and 11 Republican, is in the process of considering something called the Restrict Act. Most people have heard that this is a ban on TikTok, but it is so much more. The Restrict Act, S686, would authorize the Secretary of Commerce to identify, deter, disrupt, prevent, prohibit, investigate, or otherwise mitigate, including by negotiation, entering into, or imposing and enforcing any mitigation measure to address any risk arising from any covered transaction by any person, or with respect to any property subject to the jurisdiction of the United States that the Secretary determines, quote, poses an undue or unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. Note, it says by any person or with respect to any property subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. That could be anything. Get this, the Restrict Act also covers any website that is determined to be interfering in or altering the result or reported result of a federal election, as determined in coordination with the Attorney General, the Director of National Intelligence, and the Federal Election Commission. Some people have falsely claimed that this bill deals with mass surveillance. It is not. It does not. It is about empowering the Attorney General, the Director of National Intelligence, and the Federal Election Commission to shut down any website that has the audacity to cover attempts in a state like Arizona to get the bottom of massive irregularities. And complaining about the corruption surrounding the 2020 election would get you banned faster than an ad for ivermectin in 2021. It's about empowering the Commerce Secretary to destroy any business, website, or person who dared question U.S. policy in Ukraine. Obviously, those questions would be interpreted as helping the Russians. So no honest conversation about the virtues of a policy that is depleting our national defense resources to the advantage of China. Americans have experienced the COVID censorship regime. Americans have lost their jobs for refusing to get the jab. We have seen time and time again false statements pushed by the government to compel public compliance with zero repercussions for those who lied. Now, the apparently clueless Senate is pursuing legislation that would destroy any pretense that the First Amendment is still alive in America. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The First Amendment contains the power to dissent, the power to petition the government for redress of grievances. It's stunning that the Senate has forgotten this basic truth. This is Rick Manning for Americans for Limited Government.